Okay, so I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now because Justin Bieber just threw a water bottle at a paparazzi and the internet has completely lost its mind over it. And then Chappell Roan had her own moment with photographers and somehow Britney Spears ended up being the name everyone kept bringing up, and honestly the whole thing just snowballed into this massive conversation that we need to break down together because there is so much to unpack here. And real quick before we get into all of it, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button because this is literally just us hanging out and talking about everything happening in pop culture, and I promise you're going to want to stick around for this one. Alright, so let's go back to the beginning of all this. Justin Bieber was just leaving a restaurant, minding his business, walking to his car, and then out of nowhere he just launched a water bottle at a paparazzi. Like fully threw it. And the second that video hit the internet, everyone went into full meltdown mode. Every blog, every entertainment account, every person with a Twitter or Instagram was suddenly a licensed therapist with a hot take. Is he okay? Is the marriage okay? Is something going on behind the scenes? And I am not even exaggerating when I say the headlines were something else. People were writing full articles questioning his mental state just because this man threw a bottle. Now here is where I need us to slow down for a second, because I want to be real with you. Can we honestly say we would not react? Like, think about it. You just finished dinner, you are full, maybe a little bloated, all you want to do is get in your car and go home and watch something comfortable and just breathe. And the second you walk out those doors, there is a camera 2 inches from your face, flashes going off, someone screaming your name, someone else blocking your path, and none of it stops no matter how many times you try to walk past them. Most of us would snap. The difference is most of us do not have our snap filmed and sold for thousands of dollars before we even get home. And that is honestly the most frustrating part of this whole thing. Because Justin Bieber did not accidentally stumble into fame. He has been in this industry since he was literally a child. He grew up watching how this works. He has seen firsthand how paparazzi operate, how they wait, how they follow, how they push you just far enough to get a reaction out of you, because that reaction is worth more money than a peaceful photo of you just walking down the street ever will be. He knows this. He has known this for over 15 years. And that water bottle still flew through the air. And somewhere out there a photographer went home that night with footage worth a small fortune, probably smiling the whole way. That is what makes it sting a little. Not the bottle itself. Not even the reaction. It is that it was exactly what they were waiting for. It handed them everything they wanted on a silver platter, and now they know exactly which buttons to press to get another reaction out of him. The comment sections were full of people who were genuinely upset about it too, not just entertained. A lot of fans were saying this is not the behavior of a man who has grown up, that being a father means you have to carry yourself differently in public. And look, there is something to that argument. But there is also something to the argument that being a parent does not turn you into a robot, and even the most patient, grounded person alive has a threshold. Then the internet did what the internet always does and started coming up with theories. Some people started saying the paparazzi encounter was not even random. That someone had tipped them off, that the whole thing was arranged to put certain names back in search engines right before something needed promoting. Whether that is true or not, none of us can say for certain, but the fact that people went straight there tells you how little trust exists between audiences and the celebrity media machine at this point. Nothing is ever just a water bottle anymore. Every single thing has to be a chess move. So the internet is already deep in this conversation about celebrities and paparazzi, and where the line is, and then the Chappell Roan video drops, and it is like someone threw gasoline on a fire that was already burning. If you missed it, Chappell was trying to go to dinner. Just dinner. Nothing complicated. And there were photographers outside waiting for her, and she turned to the camera and just started talking directly to them. She was not yelling. She was not throwing anything. She was calm, but clearly at her absolute limit. She told them she had asked multiple times already for them to give her space. She said she was not going to sign autographs for people who were refusing to listen to her. She asked them to leave her alone and let her just go eat her meal in peace like a normal person. And I thought, honestly, that was pretty composed, all things considered. But the reaction online was not what I expected at all. A big portion of the internet watched that video and immediately said she was being dramatic. People were saying there were only like 4 or 5 photographers there, that she had room to move, that she could see herself on their cameras, that she was performing for the footage. And then came the comment that just kept appearing over and over again in every thread about this. She would not have survived what Britney Spears went through.
And, okay.
I have to sit with that for a second because that is a loaded statement. Because Britney Spears is not just a name you casually throw into a conversation to win a point. What Britney experienced during the peak of everything falling apart publicly was genuinely one of the darkest chapters in entertainment history. There was no moment that was off limits. No errand that was private. No parking lot, no drive-through, no hospital visit, no school pickup that did not have dozens of photographers surrounding her, screaming at her, blocking her car, shoving lenses in her face. It was every single day, without a break. It was constant. It was relentless in a way that even watching the footage back now is uncomfortable because you can see a real person being completely consumed by it in real time. There is this interview that resurfaced during this whole conversation where Britney is talking about how she has to believe she is here for a reason, that her baby feels like a miracle, that being a mother is the one thing keeping her grounded in all of it. And she starts crying in the middle of the interview. And the interviewer later said they offered to stop multiple times so she could collect herself, and she kept saying no. She wanted to keep going. She was that determined to push through it. Just that one moment tells you everything about the kind of weight she was carrying every single day. So when people compare Chappelle's situation to Britney's, technically they are not wrong that the scale is completely different. The number of photographers, the physical danger, the frequency, the level of invasion that Britney experienced was in a different category entirely. But here is where the criticism of Chappelle starts to fall apart for me. The fact that someone else had it worse does not cancel out what you are experiencing. That logic would mean nobody is allowed to speak up about anything until they have lived through the absolute worst version of it. That is not how drawing a line works. That is not how mental health works. That is not how being human works. Chappelle stood outside a restaurant and asked to be treated like a person. She did not throw anything. She was not aggressive. She spoke clearly and directly and asked for basic respect. And a chunk of the internet responded with essentially, "You have not earned the right to complain yet. You are too new to this. Sit down and let people photograph you, because that is the deal you made." Which is honestly a really uncomfortable thing for us to expect of someone. And this is where the conversation gets interesting, because the relationship between celebrities and paparazzi is genuinely not simple. There are plenty of celebrities who use photographers strategically. There are publicists who tip off paparazzi about where their client is going to be that evening so they get seen in the right outfit at the right place right before something drops. The machine runs on that cooperation as much as it runs on the ambush moments. So when a celebrity suddenly acts like the cameras are a shocking, unwelcome invasion, audiences who have watched the other side of it for years are not always going to be fully sympathetic. And that cynicism is also why people were quick to question whether Justin's reaction was as spontaneous as it looked. But even with all of that complexity floating around in the background, there are things that should just not happen regardless of how famous someone is or how much they have voluntarily played the media game. Children should not be photographed. People should not be followed into their homes. Cars should not be blocked. Medical facilities should not be staked out. The story of Princess Diana is the most devastating and permanent reminder of what happens when the pursuit of a photo becomes more important than a person's life. That lesson should have changed things permanently. And yet here we are having this conversation again, because the same patterns keep showing up in new forms. What is also worth paying attention to is how the celebrities who are completely untouchable by paparazzi manage to stay that way. There are people at the very top of this industry who almost never get caught off guard. No unflattering grocery store photos. No dramatic driveway moments. No footage of them reacting badly to being followed. And that does not happen by accident. That is security teams and back entrances and carefully managed access, and knowing how to play the whole thing without ever looking like you're playing it. The celebrities who end up in these moments are almost always either genuinely being targeted for content or are in a cycle that keeps feeding itself because of how they engage with it. None of that makes what they experience less real. It just means the conversation about privacy and access and where the line is will never be a clean one, because too many people on every side of it have something to gain from keeping things exactly as they are. What ties Justin's water bottle and Chappelle's restaurant moment together is that they both dropped this question right back in front of us. What do we actually owe celebrities when it comes to privacy? What do celebrities owe us when it comes to access? When does a public figure get to just be a person? These are not new questions, but we keep circling back to them because we keep watching the footage and sharing the clips and clicking the articles. The whole economy of this thing runs on our attention, and all of us sitting here talking about it are a part of why it keeps going. Britney Spears lived through the version of this story where nobody drew any lines and nobody said enough, and the hunger for content was fed every single day without anyone stopping to ask what it was doing to her. She is the clearest example we have of what happens when access to a person becomes unlimited and unchecked. Her name keeps coming up in these conversations not because every situation is the same as hers, but because she represents the end of the road that nobody stopped walking down in time. Justin throwing that water bottle is not the same. Chappell asking for space at dinner is not the same. But they are all points on the same line, and that line has been moving in the same direction for a very long time. So now I want to hear from you. Are you on Justin's side? Do you think Chappell was overreacting? Do you think there should be actual laws about how photographers can interact with people in public spaces? Drop it all in the comments because I genuinely want to know where you land on this. And if you are not subscribed yet, now is the time because we are just getting started and there is so much more to talk about. Hit that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one.